All right, guys, so if you want to learn how to make an animated graphic where you have those little lines following the news article, like a clipping comes out and you highlight it, then this tutorial is for you.
Okay, let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is I've already prepared a graphic, which is a news article, made that in Photoshop, and we're just going to highlight a few areas. And this is actually a really easy effect, but it's a lot of fun. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is layer new solid, and then you're going to want to make sure that it's comp size. Go ahead and hit OK. Now we have our new solid. We're going to go over to the effects and presets and type in stroke, and we have generate stroke. We're going to go ahead and drag that onto the solid. So now we have our stroke right here. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and hide the stroke just for a minute, and we're going to do on transparent and all masks. So now what we're going to do is get the pen tool, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and I'm just going to click. Now one thing, you want to make sure that you're on the blue solid when you do that. So now that I've clicked and I've added that, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the eye so you can see it, and I'm going to change the color to yellow because that's more of a highlighter, and you can see there's a yellow there, but it's not very thick. So let's go ahead and thicken that up. Okay, so now you can see this is covering the text, and we want to be able to read the text. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to go down, and we're going to hit this little chevron to twirl it down, and we're going to go make sure we're on this mask and change the mode to multiply. And now you can see there's the text. Everything looks good. You can also adjust the hardness of the brush, how soft it is, and how big and or small it is. So I'm going to keep it kind of like that, and I'm going to show you some pretty cool things to do. But the first thing that we want to do now is animate it, because all it is it's just there. But we want it to go from left to right like you would highlighting a marker. Right here I'm going to toggle the end screen, and I'm going to turn it off to 0. And then I'm going to move forward about a second or so and turn it on. And as you can see, if I were to preview it, now it highlights. And that might go too slow. So if you want to adjust how quickly or slowly it goes, just hit U on that layer and you'll see the keyframes come up, and you can bring those closer together. I'm also going to highlight both of the keyframes, right click on them and go to Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. And that will give it a little bit more of a smoother animation. But if you watch it now, it's highlighting. Now the really cool thing about this is now that I've created this animation, I can actually do more masks, and it will automatically highlight them in sequence. So this is the very first one, mask 1. If I were to get the pen tool and be on this layer still, and I decide that I want to highlight that next, it's going to highlight this part first, and then as soon as it's done with that, it's going to start highlighting that, and it's going to do it at that duration. So let's go ahead and watch and see how that happens. So now it just did both of them. Now the other thing is you can adjust these to be at different times, but what's really cool is you could actually just duplicate this layer, and then you could change the color. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and turn off or delete the second mask, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit Command D to duplicate the layer. Now that it's duplicated, I'm going to click and change the mask color to a maybe like a fluorescent green, and it's going to make a weird look right there because you got two layers there. So now what I need to do is I need to actually move the mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to get the selection tool, and then I'm going to just move this over to right here. And if I zoom in a little bit, you can see there's still those keyframes. So I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these anchor points from the pen tool. And I'm going to add one more. So go ahead and delete one of them. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make this bigger. So now what I can do is I can offset this so that this one goes first. So it'll highlight, and then this one will go next. And then if I want the rest of this to be highlighted as well, all I have to do is click on it, go to the pen tool, and add, click off for a minute, click back on. And as you can see, it's going to highlight it, but it will do it sequentially. So the top one, and there you go. Now, if you want it to look more like a scribble, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to get rid of this mask and this mask and this mask, and we're just going to start fresh, making sure I'm on here, get the pen tool, going to click, and then I'm going to click and drag. Maybe like that. And then click and drag. So it's all one mask. And now if we look at it, there it goes. Now that may not be wide enough, so maybe you thicken it up a little bit and maybe you adjust it a little bit to where it looks better for what you're trying to do. But it's actually pretty easy. Once you figure that out, you can make it look like it's scribbling. And that's how you make it look like you're animating a marker on a document or newspaper.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel tremendously as it's a small channel and I'm trying to grow it. Thanks again for watching, guys, and have a great day.